following is a presentation of TFNN.
Let's go to David from Clearwater.
Hey, Steve. Thank you for taking my call on this one, and to pass a compliment to you. I've taken a lot of classes from Tom since I became a Tiger back in 2009, and they're always phenomenal classes. And last Friday was my first class with you. And just want to say, Steve, fantastic. You were well prepared. The material was excellent. It was timely. It was a really, really, really good class, and you kind of opened my eyes to a few things that have enabled me to use your terminology. Take massive action.
Hey, there you go. I love it.
Live at TFNN, The Trader's Edge, with your host, Steve Rhodes.
And he's picked out a landing spot that is a good 25 feet above the hull.
There's a good chance he doesn't get this inside the Marco's ball.
Well, here it comes. Oh, my goodness. Anything like that. This guy's pretty good.
Now, the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the October 3rd, terrific Thursday edition of today's Opening Bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that's what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call the single most important skill. You know, I was listening on David White's show yesterday afternoon, and somehow we were talking, somebody mentioned something about CEOs and leadership, and so yesterday I was talking about leadership during the show out there, and so what I want to talk to you about, something I'm passionate about, the single most important skill. The single most important, you might want to listen to this again and again. I think this is going to be some of my best work out here, because the single most important skill in life, folks, it's called influence. It's the one skill that all leaders have, and when it comes to trading, it's all about influence. We must learn how to influence ourselves and learn how to read the influence of the market, what I call Japanese candlestick charting. Question. Let me ask you this question. What changes a company? What changes the direction of a company? And this question is extremely important, because if you are managing your own investments, you are running a company. The answer is clear, folks. It's leaders. And if you're looking to change your company when it comes to your trading or investing, you have to become a better leader, which means a better influencer. And that is what I was really doing last Friday during the Master Traders course. For me, that was my outcome. That's what it was all about. It's about teaching folks how to become a better leader when it comes to managing their trading. You see, leaders solve problems, and leaders maximize resources. If you're going to solve a problem, you can't do it yourself. Otherwise, it would already have been solved. Let me repeat that, because you should really write that sentence down. If you're going to solve problems, you can't do it yourself. Otherwise, it would already have been solved. You have to get others to help you to do it. And that alone requires influence, and you influencing yourself. You see, there's no more important skill in leadership than influence. Now, the area of life that I most focus on is influence, because I know if you can't influence yourself, you can't lead. That's what the use of a combined set of technical indicators that I use does for me. We did it yesterday live on the show. How many of you would agree that leaders are what change companies? And would you agree that a leader's number one most important skill is influence? So then the question becomes, how is it that you influence? How do you influence consistently? Something to think about. You see, the markets that you and I trade, the markets are living, breathing organisms. transparency, folks, it does exist. Nothing is hidden. Everything is revealed via price or volume. Everything is revealed with candlestick charting, with pattern recognition out there. Could you have spotted a change in trend in Apple that would have indicated that maybe somebody was changing the trend from down to up? How about in Netflix? The answer is yes. There's absolutely sets of tools out there that you can use to be able to identify what's going on with this living, breathing organism. Ultimately, folks, the big game here is emotion. Emotion, otherwise known as progress. And as leaders, we can never forget that we are all beautiful, emotional creatures. And we are looking to determine at all times the emotion of the market. So, what is it that is influencing the emotions of other traders? Like I said, we did this live yesterday going into the close at 11 o'clock. Gave out a trade. I used a set of tools that I use in order to take a long trade in the ES Mini. I think we got in right around the price level. Let me see. It was right here. It was right at the time frame coming into the close. It was at 1678. And ran that puppy all the way up to the .786, right into the close yesterday at 4 p.m., which was closed at the 1686 out there. 9-10 points inside that trade at $50 a point out there, $450, $500 in profit just on one contract. 10 contracts, you're looking at $4,500 or $5,000 from 11 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, many of you didn't take the trade. I know some that did because I got emails, a number of thank yous out there because we had a trade that was live out there. Now, I could easily take that trade because I'm influenced, because I know what the expectation of taking that trade is. I know how to trade because it's a strategy. I take a look at tactics to be able to get myself into a trade, but it's really a strategy out there, and you want to make sure that you understand your strategies. You see, the big game is emotion. That's all that we were doing yesterday as the market was moving down. We were looking for emotions that just simply were irrational, didn't make any sense, and we were taking advantage of it. You see, folks, we are our rituals. It starts from the time that you and I wake. Some of us get up before the alarm goes off. I'm one of those people. How about you? Some of us hit the snooze button 2-3 times. Some of us begin with breakfast. Some of us by working out. Would you agree that your rituals influence who it is that you become? So the question is, what are your rituals when it comes to feeding your mind? Something else to think about. You see, the number one way to overcome fear, the number one way to overcome crisis is to feed your mind. What you've got to do is you got to get new voices. You have to have new perspectives. You've got to ask some new questions. And what you must do is you must feed your mind every day. What you've got to do is you've got to learn to become a master of influence. And the only way that you do that is by asking the right questions. What you want to do is you want to become a master of reading influence. And you only do that by asking the right questions. Questions, folks, you've heard me say this before, they absolutely are the answer. If you want new answers for your life, well, that means you need new questions. If you want to give somebody a gift, in life, ask them the right question. You see, the right question can change everything. Look, each of us have a need for certainty. There's 6 human needs. 4 of them are primary human needs. One of those is certainty. Think of certainty as a need for comfort. When it comes to your money, when it comes to investing or trading your money, how important is certainty? I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, wouldn't you say it's probably like about a 2,000? How important is certainty out there? But just as all human beings need certainty, guess what? We also need uncertainty. We also need variety. That's what this market has. It has a lot of uncertainty, and we take advantage of that uncertainty. Thank God for uncertainty. And really thank God for uncertainty because everyone likes surprises, right? Of course not. You only like the surprises that you like. When it comes to trading and investing, the surprises we like are the moves that move in the direction that we're trading. The surprises we don't like, we call those problems. And if you don't use stops, those problems turn into typically disasters out there. Now, we've also got this need to feel significant, to feel unique, to feel special and important out there. Steve Wynn's belief system, if you've ever been to, out to Las Vegas, been to one of his properties, think about it. What do you think is Steve Wynn's belief system? It's really simple. His system, I know this for a fact, if you want to make billions of dollars, link buying a product to significance. Make your customer feel more significant. You could not have walked inside the Mirage or any of the hotels that he has built in his lifetime to not know that he's trying to give you that feel of significance. You know, if you can give that to your customer, this is his philosophy, and this is true, they'll spend any amount of money. Just look at all the shopping habits of many. Look at the branding that people buy and wear. It's for significance. I'm not saying right, wrong, but it's Steve Wynn's formula. It's really that simple. If you're running a business and catering and selling products to people out there, maybe Steve Wynn's system is a belief structure that you need to adopt or you need to copy out there. Look, our third and fourth needs out there, connection and love. Everyone wants connection and love. Most people think that if they're significant enough, that they will be loved. For them, it's about being enough. If I'm worth it enough, or beautiful enough, or strong enough, or rich enough, or smart enough, or playful enough, or intelligent enough, or funny enough. Just something enough. All I say at this moment is be careful if that's your thought process. Look, our last two needs out here are the needs for growth and contribution. Everyone needs to grow. If you're not growing, guess what? You're dying. And then it comes to contribution. And here's the key. The most successful people in the world are the ones that have a meaning beyond themselves. Folks, if you continue as you are, how will you meet your dreams, whatever your dreams are? I say, learn to be a master of influence. Learn the power of influence. It is the most important skill. And I'll leave you with this question, because questions are the answer. When now is a good time to start? When now, folks, is a good time to start? Anyways, thanks for letting me rant and rave. Let's go check out these markets out here. Really kind of flat. So that gave me the opportunity to just share with you something that I'm impassioned about. In fact, I'm so impassioned about it, I might even do it during the open of next hour as well, because we've got different listeners that come in. And if you go back and you listen to that, folks, that alone will help you out so much. Anyways, the Dow futures right now, they're off 3 points, trading out at 15,021. ES Mini, that's trading flat. It's up 50 cents at 1683.50, but that 1683 area, that's pretty important. NASDAQ futures, they're up 3.5 points, 3.25 points, trading at 32.41. Russell 2000 flat. King dollar up about a penny right now. The currency markets, other than the British pound, look like they're relatively flat. In the hard metals markets, you've got the gold trading off about $10, not a big deal out there, down at 13.10. Silver's trading out at 21.62. That's off 28 cents. Light sweet crude is totally flat. That's at 104.09. Our call-in number, 877-927-6648. If you give me a call, we can just talk about your stock chart. I'm done with my first segment. Learn the power of influence, folks. It's a beautiful thing. We'll be right back.
Says you can't take it with you. TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. with the launch of TigerTV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzamento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Investors, Taz Market Research delivers to its subscribers expert commentary on the analysis of 15 different markets each day. Get this invaluable and timely information through the daily market research videos Taz Market Research produces each day before 9 a.m. The video analysis will include reports on currencies, interest rates, indices, metals, energies, grains, and more. You'll be able to gauge where high profitability setups are in each of the markets. Receive a free 2-week trial subscription to Taz Market Research videos on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go check out yesterday's trade, just in case you missed it. As the market was moving down here, now I've got the ES Mini up on my screen. If you're listening in on the radio, your mobile device at TFNN.mobi, thank you so much for doing that. Remember, you can always watch this show streaming live to your smartphone type device, smart pad type device. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com. Over on the right-hand side, you will see a button. Upper right-hand side, you'll see a button. You can click on that. The show will stream live. Of course, the archive is on Channel 9. Now, we're looking at the ES Mini 30-minute chart out here. And yesterday, well, really since the highs that were put in here, most recent highs back in the September 18th, September 19th time frame, what we have here was a descending price channel. And yesterday, we saw, well, not yesterday, a couple days ago, we saw price break above that. That was, so today's Thursday, so that was on Tuesday. And when you break above a trend line, a channel line, what you really want to see is you want to see price come back and prove itself by testing that area and staying outside of the channel. And that is, in essence, what took place yesterday as we were coming into that 10:30 session out there, and it was creating one of the most beautiful divergent patterns that is out there. Now, you don't just take the trade right then and there. You need to have a strategy. That's a tactic. And if you just use tactics for trading, you'll get run over like a freight train. You'll end up with more losses. You'll be demoralized because you'll be wondering, why the heck doesn't it work out there? It's why you want to be able to read the message of the markets. The message of the markets, the markets are always going to give you signals. Markets don't end on bullish signals, and they don't end on bearish signals to the downside. Should have said to the upside. They don't end up bullish signals out there. And so what did we have right here? We had a nice confirmed buy that came in at 11 o'clock. That price point to close at 1678 out there. Then once you're in the trade, you had to determine, okay, where's the areas that you're going to go ahead and exit. Now, at 2 o'clock inside of the den, as David was beginning his show, when I went ahead, I updated people on the trade, and at 2 o'clock I said, this is the time period, and this is the candle we're looking at right now. You had the ES mini get up to a high of 1687.50, closed out at 2 o'clock at 1685.75. I said, this is the time when we're going to start to see a pullback. We're going to start to see a pullback in the market. I think it gave out a price target of right around the area where we should have looked for support was right around the 1681.70. Well, let's go find it. It's pretty simple. I just simply used the previous area of resistance that it took out. And that was the high that came in at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. And that level was 1681.75. So I'm sure I typed in the den. We should find support at 1681.75. Now, price pulled back into the 3 o'clock time frame. It didn't get there. It got to 1682 versus 1681, 75. Come on, folks, that was a quarter tick out there, right? A quarter tick. And then the 1683 area, which is so important, that held. Price moved higher up into the close. That's when I went ahead and closed my trade out. Now, we also had a 0.786 retracement as that high was being made. So we had really a number of different patterns that were completing right at that level. The 0.786 area was, the exact number would be 1688. We actually had price get up to 1687.50. Okay, a half a tick out there. Not that big of a deal. But at that stage, that was when the market was going to need to work off some type of oversold condition. Only pulled back to that 1683 level and held. Obviously, intercession, the extreme, the little wicks out there, the shadows of the candles pushed a bit lower, but 1683 held. And then knowing that John Harwood was coming on to CNBC at 4 o'clock, that was good enough for me to know that our leaders, or sometimes what we'll call misleaders out there, I didn't need to be playing those emotions. We got plenty out of the trade. We got plenty out of that trade. And then what happened last night, it was a beautiful thing. Because last night we had one of your favorite candles form, and that was the hammer candle. That came in at 8 o'clock last evening, the low of which is 1673.50. 1673.50, folks, that's an important area of support. In fact, we had hammers, we had back-to-back hammers out there because the very next candle that formed as well, because the market was moving lower, that was also a hammer. And a hammer candle is a very significant reversal area because it suggests a change in trend between the bears and the bulls out there. It suggests that the bears' confidence is maybe waning and that the bulls are kind of maybe beating their chest a bit out there. And that's what's very important. In fact, when we speak about hammer candles out here, if we go take a look at the S&P 500, let's go do that right now. Did you know that the candle that was formed yesterday inside the S&P 500 was a hammer candle? You want to know that. That's really important to know that, folks, because it says that the low from yesterday, which is 1680.34, that's an important low out there. You see a close below that, and then price will move down to the next support level. Inside the S&P 500, thank goodness at this stage, it's really not that far down because it becomes the bottom of that rising price channel. But we'll see today what kind of conviction the bulls have, what kind of conviction the bears have. Which are you today? 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization information capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. We got the Dow down 35 points, so that is the weak link out there, isn't it? It's trading out at 15,097. S&P off 4, trading at 1690. Composite down 73 cents. Russell 2000 down $1. To the upside, PVH Corp, that's up $7 and change, nice 6%. Cal Amp Corp, CAMP is the tiger, is a symbol out here. Let me see, what do they have going on? They are trading up 12%. I don't see I guess a release of numbers out here. They generated revenue of $58.1 million versus $43.9, and net income was down $2.8 million versus $3.66 out there, but they are having a nice morning. Melnix Technologies, MLNX, up a nice 5% this morning. Cree, CREE, up 3%, up $2 and change. Tenet Healthcare, THC, That's an interesting ticker symbol, isn't it? Tenet Healthcare, they are up 5% here this morning. Somebody had to really give that one a lot of thought. Sina Corp, S-I-N-A, that's up about 1 7/10%. You've got 5 below, is 5 above right now. Well, it's really 3.5% above, trading up $1.60. Netflix up about $3 and change. Tesla Motor, I guess because one car caught on fire and who knows what the real reason is, they're getting hurt just a little bit this morning, down 2% off $3.70. Angie's List is off about 13% this morning. I wonder if they're out with numbers out there. ANGI is the ticker symbol. What's this here? Chief Executive Officer, what are they doing out here? CEO sold 12,800 shares, so... Of course, that could have been a prearranged sale for all we know. Ashland Inc. and I'm sure that it was a prearranged sale. ASH is the ticker symbol. They're down about 2.5%. Herbalife off about 2%, down $1.44. Celgene off 86 cents. China Mobile down $1. Zales Corp down $1. Not a lot to the downside here at the moment. Let's go take a look at some of the. Let's go take a look at. Let me go back to the. To this one tab here, some of the charts that I monitor. So let's go take a look at some of those elements. What I want to do is look at the Great British Pound U.S. dollar out here, because this has been on a heck of a run. Now, this broke a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern, also broke a 1.272 butterfly pattern, did it with conviction. Now, these 0.786 Gartley sell patterns, or bar, doesn't matter which one. In this case here was a sell pattern. When they fail, they oftentimes turn into big butterflies out there. Now, what we can see here that the Great British Pound U.S. dollar has done, it's made that 100% move of a move by getting all the way back to the swing point from January 2nd. Now, it hasn't tested the high, but it did test the low out there, which was $1.6220. Now, when it came up here, it created a nice little shooting star. So this is really the candle session to be paying attention to, which is October the 1st. So if you were in this trade, for whatever reason, if you're in this trade, whether you're long or short, what you need to be focused on, I mean supremely focused on, is that candle session, October 1st, because that's a reversal signal at an area of resistance. And what I can tell you this, because of the 0.786 Gartley butterfly, a Gartley sell pattern, and the 1.272 butterfly that both failed, and we've made a 100% move of a move, and just simply the mere fact that the market moved into a overbought condition here. Today's candle, if we were to finish like this, you'd have a shooting star, and then you'd have today. Yesterday was just really, just a sideways move, and then today you'd have a bearish engulfing candle. It would tell you a very significant. It wouldn't mean to go short, not necessarily, but it would tell you where the resistance is. One thing is for sure. If, in fact, the Great British Pound U.S. dollar closes above $1.60, 1.625 out there, get out of the way, folks, because it's a continuation pattern to the upside, and it will head to much higher prices out there. And you say, where? Well, we'd go ahead and at least finish off the A to B equals CD. The A to B equals CD on this. Well, let's take a look at this one here, because this we'll take a look at the larger one. That A to B equals CD would take you into the level of about $1.6328. I say higher than that, quite frankly. I think it would head up to about the $1.65, $1.66 level out there. So that's on the Great British Pound U.S. dollar, and we're going to be paying attention. We're going to be focused on that shooting star, which is the opposite of the hammer candle that formed in the S&P 500, the OEX yesterday, the Russell 3000, the Russell 1000. There were hammers all over the place in the yesterday's charts out there. And we'll see whether or not there is going to be, at the end of the day, a shift in change, in trend in the marketplace. If we go take a look at potential shift in change, well, it was in gold. We're not seeing any follow-through today. Gold really had the chance yesterday to take off topside. Now, not that it was a small move out here, moved down to that 0.618 retracement level. It's a normal level for people to get off the elevator out there. So if you were short, that would be an area. And if you were looking for a long trade, could be whatever the time frame is, that certainly is a place to come in. But all that it did yesterday, closing out at the 1316 level, in order to get really bullish, I personally need to see it close above the 1336 level out there in order to see some kind of reversal. Now, we see that today, and just like that Beatles song, I Will Be a Believer out there. Maybe it was the Monkees. I can't remember if it's the Monkees or the Beatles. Maybe I get that song. I gotta get that one figured out. Anyways, that's on gold. Right now it's trading out at 1310 out here. If we take a look at Well, there's nothing else really to take a look at as I take a look at the gold contract. If we go look at Hi-Ho Silver, really a similar move out there. Had the opportunity, thank you, Al, was the monkeys out here. Silver, which has been stronger, also had that opportunity. I would have needed to see silver close above the high from October 1st, $21.97 in order to truly get excited about it. It, too, getting down to the 0.618 area. Looks more like silver wants to make a run, maybe down to 1955, maybe 1849. Of course, what we would need, or what it may need, is help from the euro. So the conflicting information here inside the euro, let's go take a look at the euro-U.S. dollar currency pair, because this wants higher price. So this wants higher price, which would put the U.S. dollar moving lower out here, because the euro wants to make that 100% move and get all the way back up to at least the February 1st highs out at $1.37. That A to B equals CD. This is a strong move. The C to D leg here is stronger than the A to B leg inside the euro. Unlike the Great British Pound U.S. dollar, which gave us a reversal signal, no such puppy inside, or kitty cat, inside the euro-U.S. dollar out here. So this still wants higher price. This is going to go make that 100% move of a move. We go take a look at light sweet crude. Let's go see what crude, bonds, natural gas are doing here. Light sweet crude now, this thing is breaking out back inside that sideways consolidation range. It really was the first significant test of that area, because we did have light sweet crude break through that sideways consolidation level, broke through it on September the 25th. To a certain extent, maybe it came back, and you could say it might have tested it on September 26th, might have tested it on September 27th, really more sideways. But we then saw a clear break lower over 2 trading sessions, the 30th as well as October the 1st out there. And in yesterday's nice wide-ranging bar, bullish engulfing candle, getting back above the trend line, that short-term trend line, coming off of the April 18th level and back inside the consolidation range. Unfortunately, what that says is that light sweet crude wants to make a run now back for the highs, back in that 109 level, or at a minimum at least make a Fibonacci retracement, and that would take us to probably the 618 or 786 level. I would say the way that it came into the 0.382, at a minimum, you're looking at 107.29. It looks more like it'll tag the 107.29, the 0.786 retracement, but really I think it's back inside that consolidation trading range. Light sweet crude ought to make a run for the 109-ish type level out there. We take a look at the 30-year Treasury. 30-year Treasury here, just moving sideways, just simply, it's not overbought or oversold, so it's just simply moving sideways and moving sideways up at these highs here. No real reversal signals, just building some energy to take on higher price in the marketplace. If we go take a look at natural gas here, natural gas still not giving us the confirmation signal at all. Again, I was looking at natural gas to close above $3 and 3.769 to be exact. We have not seen that close. We've seen threats of that area, but we have not seen that close out here. So natural gas may be working sideways here to move lower, but it's got to bust through this hammer candle. So there is some good support, which is down at the level of September 26th low, $3.62. But you get a close below that, and that will become a bummer. Because, I don't know if it would become about, just simply set up another buying opportunity. That buying opportunity, I suspect, would make that 100% move of a move and get all the way back down to the August 8th lows out there. So that is on light sweet crude. Let's go take a look at some of the sectors within inside the S&P 500. We didn't do any of that yesterday, so let's go see what we've got going on. Let's start off with, I talked about the XLF yesterday. I think yesterday I showed you that big island reversal, the weekly, the abandoned baby top, the doji star, which you just don't see. I mean, you actually want to, if you were writing a textbook, you'd want to grab the chart from last week or 2 weeks ago, because it's hard to find those reversal candles. So it's going to be a very key area. If this market's going to crack, the weak links have revealed themselves with clarity out here, and that is inside the financial sector. Yesterday's move, another really move sideways out here, 38 million shares, not doing much here today. You've got that big island reversal, the daily, the weekly, the whole kit, and caboodle out there. So it is a real problem. And for those of you who didn't see what the weekly looked like, it's this one right here. I'll go ahead and put it up. I don't want to change that chart out. We'll just go to my weekly charts, which are so revealing with information inside the marketplace. If we take a look at that, where is it? Oh, right here. So if you take a look at this doji star island reversal, I mean, it is so tough to find these, and it is absolutely one of the most bearish candlestick patterns that you can find inside the marketplace. So if this market is truly going to crack, okay, just give it away. This is the place that you want to be. You want to be short the financials because they have given you huge signals out there that a significant top could be in. Now let's go back and take a look at the daily charts. Not spend so much time right now on the weekly charts out here. Let's go take a look at the so as far as what the XLF is going to do, I say the weekly chart has priority right now. Now the XLF, it is important because it is number 2 or number 3 weighting inside of the S&P 500. My apologies for not having that memorized. Let's go take a look at the healthcare sector, the HLV. So it's either this is number 2 or number 3 because it's technology, then healthcare, financials, or technology, financials, and healthcare. It's one of those orders out there. Yesterday's move had some no volume. Let me just make sure I've got this updated here. No real volume in the. There we go. Actually, it did have some pretty decent volume on October the 1st out here. If we look for any kind of reversal candles or support inside the XLV, what we have here is just really the, we've got this resistance line, which did hold as support, which was that little doji on August the 1st. There was a little shooting star that actually took place the day before. That was on July 31st session out there. My A to B equals CD up here. We'll just go ahead and erase that. It kind of hides that. So here's your shooting star, and then a doji candle, which has more meaning at the resistance. This had set up the resistance area the day before. Old resistance becomes new support. That's what we saw when the healthcare sector gapped up on September 16th. Came back and tested it. We're now below it. Looks to me like we're going to find some more information back out at that line, which is August 1st high, about $51.50 out there. That's on the XLV. Let's go take a look here at the. Let's take a look at the technology sector, the XLK. Let's go find that and see what she is doing out here, because that is the number 1 weighting inside of the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 right now is trading off about 6.5 points. So let's go see what the number 1 weighting structure says about that. Now, yesterday you had the technology sector trying to get back into the upper portion of its range, which is above the May 20th high out there. That level is $32.31. Now, the volume there is about 8 million shares. It came into it yesterday. No, that wasn't yesterday. This chart here was not updated. Give me a second. There we go. It came in there yesterday, thank you, October the 2nd, with 8 million shares. So it's coming into that level with volume, similar volume out there. You can see today it has rejected that area. You can see how it's acted as an important line of support and resistance, but it is trying to get up in there, and it wants to go ahead and, believe it or not, it wants to complete an A to B equals CD up. That'll take us in about 33.83, and that's probably as soon as the Dow is done with its work to the downside. So speaking of the Dow being done, its work to the downside, let's actually go take a look at the daily chart on the Dow. Let's go see what it is doing out here. So let's look at the daily chart. It's trading off about 70 points right now. And then what we want to do is we want to go take a look at the core stocks. We'll take a look at IBM, see what it is doing out here. So as we take a look at the Dow right now, trading at 15,064. Trading below the 0.618 level. We'll see if this holds. Very key important level is 15,122-ish out here. You can see that level was breached intraday yesterday. It closed back above it. We'll see if we're going to see the same type of action out here in today's trading. If not, the Dow will make its way down to the next level, which really, quite frankly, is going to be 14,963, which is your 0.786. But at that stage, it's so close to making a 100% move of a move, meaning getting back to the August 27th area. That's where we'll head to, which is about the 14,939 range out there. Let me see what else do we have that we can take a look at. Let's go take a look at the diamonds. Let's go take a look at volume, see what kind of volume we've got here. Now, if we take a look at the chart on the diamond, so far what price is doing is just hitting the trend line. So it's hitting an important trend line. That's one coming off of November 16th out there. I probably ought to change that to a different color. Just make it a little bit easier for you to read. Let's go change that one to a nice dark black color. And now you'll see the difference between the trend line and the channel lines. Dow's off 75. S&P is down 8. We'll be right back, folks.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing. But what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Are you ready to ride the next bull market wave? Catch the Chapman Wave. Using the Chapman Wave methodology, Basil's very comprehensive daily newsletter, The Opening Call, gives the short, intermediate, and long-term analysis for the key indexes. In his Trader's Corner, he gives a brief market summary and expectation for the day with possible trades, both long and short, which are reviewed daily. A position. Subscribers sold recently for plus 42% on parts and plus 64% on rest. And Hertz Global as a core position for 6 months. A current position entered as a turnaround company is trading over 100% of its entry point as a portion sold earlier for a plus 21% gain. Subscribers to the Opening Call see the Chapman Wave techniques demonstrated and explained daily to also educate investors. Now you can get a free 2-week trial. Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. With the 600th weekly Gold Report issue fast approaching, Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. The Dow is off 78 points right now. S&P down 8.5. Composite off 12. Russell 2000 down 4. NDX off 12 points out here. Let's see. We've got the declining issues outpacing advancing issues. Let's see here. Looks like about a little over 2 to 1. 1,201 net declining issues out there. We want to be paying attention to that number today in order for the bears to take control, truly effectively take control of the markets out here. They need, I think it was about 171 or so, something like that, net declining issues. Let's take a look at the ES Mini. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. Now, if you don't use Fibonacci numbers in your trading, you got to ask yourself, why not? Why not? Take a look at the ES Mini out here. What a beautiful trade setup this was showing. Or take a look at an area at least of resistance. Number one, we can see, if you're watching us on Tiger TV, what we're taking a look at is if you come from the swing point high at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, that was where I sent out a little warning signal that said, hey, this is where we're going to see the market pull back. That high out there, 1687.50, all the way down to the hammer low that was put in at 8 o'clock last night. That was down at 1673.50. If you go from that high to that low, you'll see it was a 0.786 retracement that came in at a price level of about 1684, coming in to the 9:30 session as we were opening. What you'll also see is you'll see a 1.618 expansion of swing points. That's from the high that took place at, 23:30. That'd be 11:30 in the evening. So you've got a 1.618 expansion. And right up here as well, if you take a look at the swing point high that came in at 4:30 in the afternoon on October the 1st, down to the low, similar to the hammer low. It's the low that came down at 10:30 in the morning on October the 2nd out at 1673 1/4, a 0.618. So we've got three Fibonacci numbers coming together at the same time out here, and that's something you absolutely want to make sure that you are paying attention to because they are very powerful. Now, we know where resistance is. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those Fibonacci numbers. There we go. So we know where resistance is. You know, this formation here, this three-candle formation, this should look familiar to you. That's an evening star formation, three-candle configuration, a little bearish engulfing or bear sash candle back up here. So we've got resistance at that 1683 line. I have said that that is a very important area to be paying attention to out here. At some point in time, the market is going to break with conviction to one side or the other. Important support inside the ES Mini. That's at the level here that came in at 8 o'clock last night. That is that hammer candle, and that is the low of 1673.50. You break below that. If it breaks below that, where will it head to? Well, its next swing point out here is the swing point that came in at 10 o'clock in the morning on September 30th, and that's at the 1666. Oh, a very devilish-looking number out there. We'll make it 1666.75. Get rid of a little of the devil. That's where the ES Mini would head to its most recent swing point if, in fact, it breaks the hammer candles. So expect support inside the ES Mini, a little chopping around back and forth, a little fear being sold out there, and then the bull stepping in and saying, hey, not so fast. Why is today's trading session any different than the last few out here? I don't think that it is. In fact, let's go check in on the euro-Japanese yen currency pair. Let's go see if maybe there is some reason to be scared there. And just got to find the currency pair here, see if I can do it quickly. Yeah, here's the euro-Japanese yen. Actually, let's go take a look at the intraday chart out here because this probably would paint, not probably, this will paint a better picture for us. So let's go see what we've got going on inside this currency pair. So here you can see, if I pull this back, you can see that nice rising price channel. Those are the blue lines, and you had a little subcorrection channel. Those are the red lines. Price broke out of that yesterday with conviction. That's actually bullish for the markets because this points the direction as to where the markets are going to go. So it breaks out of that correction channel, and guess what it's doing? All it's doing right now is moving down and testing that area out here. The euro-Japanese yen, it's saying not so fast. But folks, thanks so much for being here. You're off to start your Thursday. Have an incredible day, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the morning. Otherwise, I'll see you in about 5 minutes. Take care, folks. What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.